Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good day to all of you. First of all, I would like to introduce our RPP and course information related to Foundation Engineering BFC 43103. For this particular course, you will spend about 3 hours for lecture, and then actually for you there will be no extra hours for tutorial because this one is actually meant for the previous cohort. So therefore, you will spend only 3 hours for this class. Then the course will be delivered by several lecturers as shown here. And for this particular course, it will be headed by Associate Professor Engineer Aziz and Aziz. Then in general, the goal of this particular course is to provide sufficient knowledge and understanding of the subject so that the students are capable of analyzing the strength and compressibility of various soil, as well as designing suitable foundations and retaining structures. And in general, the foundation is a very important substructure that transfers load from superstructure to the ground. So therefore, the course will be important for you in order to design this kind of facilities. So the course will introduce the student in terms of on how you manage the data from soil investigation, and then how you will decide on the type and design of foundation, either it is shallow foundation or deep foundation. And also it will comprise of the retaining structure and several other things. For this particular course, we line up three learning outcomes. One, to organize appropriate site investigation method and instrumentation according to information collected by the feasibility study, recognize and preliminary investigation of a site. And then after that, we hope you'll be able to design the shallow and deep foundation as well as various type of retaining structure. And number three, hopefully you will be able to propose the design of foundation and selected geotechnical structures, which also involve ground improvement method. Well, then after that, if you can consider the planning for our course, firstly, I will move to the site investigation, whereby we will spend about 7 hours, and then we'll talk this in detail a little bit later. Then you can be able to see. So in general, what you will do over here is that you will get some information from the site, and then how this information will be used later on for the design. Then after that, we move to shallow foundation, whereby we will spend about 9 hours for this one. For this particular chapter, we will introduce you the general concept of shallow foundation and several equations whereby necessary for you to do the design, and the idea of bearing capacity, safety factor, and eccentrically loaded foundation, contact pressure and stability, and after that the settlement performance of your shallow foundation. And please bear in mind that for these two topics will be embedded for your quiz and then for your test one, and it also appear in your final year examination, and some of it also considered for your project. Then after that, we move to the chapter 3. So chapter 3 is representing the main chapter for this particular subject, whereby it is deep foundation design. We will spend most of our time over here. We expect to have about 12-hour lecture, and then at the very beginning we will introduce you several elements of the foundation, and then after that single pile design, then skin friction design and bearing design, and then after that we move to the pilot test, And then after that, it's quite necessary for us to introduce you on how to deal with the PAL group and several design elements associated to PAL groups. And then finally, we may share something about how to design the laterally loaded PAL by using Brinch-Hansen method. All this will be considered for test 2, final examination and projects. Then after that, for the chapter 4, it's about the retaining structure. For this particular subtopic, we will consider about 10 hours to go for this topic, and this one is more on the retaining structure need, whereby we introduce you the gravity and cantilever wall, ship pile, cantilever or fixed buttresses, strut wall, and reinforced earth, or some people call it MSE, mechanically stabilized earths. And for this, we will consider this for quiz, test 2, and final year examination. And the last chapter is soil improvement, where we hope we will spend about 7 hours for this particular chapter. And then over here we will introduce you of several approaches in doing soil improvement, such as mechanically modification or hydraulic modification, or physical chemical modification, or modification with reinforcement and constraining method. And this will be embedded just for the final year examination and assignment. And in terms of the assessment, so I think it should be reminded that you will be given a project whereby it comprises of 5 students per group, and the project will be something related to the foundation, whereby I will share with you slightly later. And in terms of the assessment, so first of all, we'll give you about 5% for quiz, 5% for the assignment. Then we are going to have 2 tests, whereby it will take about 20%, and then after that the project will give us about another 20%, and the final year examination will give you about 50%, and in total it's 100%. Then you may be able to consider all these references, and then, well, most of it you can be able to find it in our laboratory. And as usual, please follow the attendance and regulation which is outlined by UTHM rules, and I hope you will be able to enjoy this class, and good luck for all of you. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum and good day.